Maui cops say the crash on the cliff was no accident.
This was intentional. This was not accidental.
Sergeant Lawrence Beecraft says the evidence shows Alexandria Duval purposely plunged off the peak, killing her twin sister, Anastasia.
So you don't think that it's possibly just coincidence that this is where they went off the cliff, off the road?
Absolutely not. Take a look behind us. It's basically a straight roadway. This was calculated. They knew, or she knew exactly where she was going off.
Investigators say the circumstantial evidence was piling as high as the 200-foot cliffs on the northeast shore of Maui. The hair-pulling fight, the tire marks on the road, and the data from the car's black box. It all adds up, cops say, to a murder-suicide attempt.
What do you think the motive was?
I believe that Alexandria did not want to lose her sister Anastasia because the plan was that Anastasia and Federico were going to move. They're going to start a business on another island. And I believe that Alexandria did not want that to happen, that she was not going to lose her sister to anybody. And she potentially drove off that cliff to stop that.
Police charge Alexandria with second-degree murder. They go to her house to make the arrest. Only one problem.
Everything was gone. It was empty. The house was empty, and at that point we knew she was making moves to leave.
The only way off our island is either plane or boat. So more than likely, if she's going to go back to the mainland, it's going to be plane.
Cops quickly learn Alexandria is booked on a flight for the mainland, so they make a mad rush to the Maui airport.
Something happens to the plane. I can't remember if they told me it was, I think it was mechanical difficulties. So the plane was grounded. What we found out was she was staying in a hotel near our airport. And sure enough, she was there, and we arrested her.
Alexandria pleads not guilty at her preliminary hearing. She's wearing an orange jumpsuit and a sling on her broken arm.
That woman that was in the driver's seat, if you were to see her again, would you recognize her?
Yes, sir.
If you see her in court today, would you please point to her and tell us what color she's wearing?
Yes, sir. The orange.
But after the evidence is presented, the judge makes a surprising decision.
The judge says what?
He basically states that we don't have enough probable cause to hold her for the murder charge and releases her.
The murder charge dismissed, Alexandria now books a flight to New York State. But while she's there, another legal shocker. The Maui County grand jury indicts her.
She wasn't attempting to evade detection or anything. She had no idea she'd been indicted.
New York cops arrest Alexandria, her second arrest for the alleged crime.
The indictment charges you with murder in the second degree.
And now in a yellow jumpsuit, her hands cuffed, she's pleading not guilty for the second time.
She left Hawaii to come back to the States to grieve, not to escape from justice. And after she left, it appears that the district attorney out there in Hawaii was familiar with that principle, which is a grand jury can indict a ham sandwich.
You went for a murder charge, but why didn't you also add perhaps other charges like reckless driving, drunk driving?
Because it wasn't reckless driving or drunk driving. The evidence was compelling that the SUV was driven intentionally over the cliff, so that made it murder. Murder being defined in Hawaii as causing the death of another person intentionally or knowingly.
Now the woman accused of getting into hair-pulling fights with her twin sister is in a fight for her freedom. She returns to Maui as her sensational murder trial begins.
In the state law, the court finds that the defendant intentionally or knowingly drove off that cliff.
This case is a tragic accident, not murder.
Alexandria's defense attorney said it was actually Anastasia who caused the accident. He blames it on the hair pulling.
So violent that we have evidence from the body, the autopsy, Anastasia Duval, in her hands, had long blonde hair. She's pulling my client's hair so violently that it pulled her hair out.
Lawrence Lau, the Boy Scout chaperone who claims he saw it all go down, took the witness stand and described the chilling final seconds before the car tumbled off the cliff.
And what did you see?
I saw a woman that had It was kind of a curly hair, and I saw what appeared to be fighting between the women. The hair was being yanked on, yanking the head of the driver, and the driver's head was being pulled to the side.
But then a dramatic courtroom moment that raised everyone's eyebrows.
After I learned that Anastasia had died, and I saw Alexandria, I gave her a shower, washed her hair, we sat down after that.
You heard right. Federico Bailey says after his girlfriend, Anastasia, died, he gave a shower to twin sister, Alexandria. He then testified about some strange behavior.
She put on all of Anastasia's clothes. She put on a dress by Anastasia and started like dressing like her.
Did you question her about wearing Anna's clothes?
No. When I saw her in Anastasia's dress, it was disturbing. Seeing Alexandria and Anastasia in the clothes that she was wearing, it was kind of hard to distinguish them.
He said, I helped her shower.
But the defense put up a strong fight and compelling evidence. Defense expert Wayne Slagle, an accident reconstructionist, testified that the data from the black box showed that Alexandria didn't intentionally drive off that cliff.
Your opinion, is this consistent with a person who is intent on intentionally driving off the cliff?
Based on the steering chart that I put up there, no. There's a lot of jerking of the steering wheel going on in here, and that's not consistent.
Alexandria chose a bench trial, meaning the judge would decide the outcome.
For me, one of the most dramatic pieces of evidence in this case is the hair. It's sitting right here on the bench.
And when he announced the verdict, everyone was stunned.
The defendant lost control of the vehicle, and maybe she did input the left turn. She may have done that. But that's as a result of the evidence that shows her hair was being pulled, and whatever happened, happened. She wasn't responsible for that. The court will enter a judgment of acquittal as the defendant is discharged.
Not guilty. Alexandria is free.
Were you disappointed that the judge didn't find her guilty of murder?
Yes. And obviously I disagreed.
You disagree?
Of course.
Does that mean that you believe she got away with murder?
Well, that's the fact. Okay. She got away with murder.
I've forgiven Alexandria.
When she was found not guilty of murder, is that a just verdict?
No.
Alexandria has always maintained her innocence. Crime Watch Daily contacted Alexandria's attorney for a comment, but he told us she's not giving any interviews at this time. Now, two people will spend the rest of their lives without their soulmate. Alexandria, who lost her twin sister, and Federico, who lost the love of his life.
I'm sorry for your loss. What's the last thing Anastasia said to you?
She told me that she loved me. She was very beautiful.
All right, now we want to hear from you. Do you think the judge made the right decision in this case? Join the debate right now on our Facebook page. I'm Chris Hansen. If you like this story, make sure you tune in every day to Crime Watch Daily. You can find where the show airs in your city at crimewatchdaily.com. Watch it live or record it on your DVR and watch it at night. And to all those criminals out there, remember, we are watching.